You have a quiz right before break. So here is your review. We will see how this records. I'm actually doing this from home today, and I don't have as good a software, but I think this will still work. So question number 1, which statement is true? So as you see, we have 2 pizzas. So we have, I'm going to have to type here. Whoa, that's really huge. We don't want that. Let's get smaller. Okay, so we have two pizzas. And then each pizza has, just looking here to make some sense, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pepperoni and 2 mushrooms. Okay, so let's look here. The ratio of mushrooms to pepperoni is 5 to 2. Well, that does match 5 to 2, what I found here, but this says mushrooms to pepperoni. It's actually 5 pepperonis to 2 mushrooms. So the ratio of mushrooms to pepperoni says back what mushrooms is first, mushroom is 2, pepperoni is 5. So that's correct. The ratio of pizzas to total toppings is 2 to 2. Nope. That's not it. So answer number 1 is B. So you need to be able to make sure that when you are finding ratios, you are putting the numbers. I'll actually type this for you here if you want to take some notes. Make sure you have the words and the numbers in the same order. Okay, great. There's some notes for you. Number 2, select all the ratios that are equivalent to 3/4. So remember, I love this typing here. Let's change the color for you. I'm having so much fun. So equivalent means with a pattern of multiplication or division. I'm going off the edge, okay? With a pattern of either multiplication or division. So for instance, some kids will say, 3 plus 10 is 13. And 4 plus 10 is 14. That is a pattern by addition, not multiplication. So it is not equivalent. Do you need me to type that for you? Sure, I'll do that. That is a pattern by addition is not equivalent. And if you can't see that, let's make that smaller. See, I don't have stuff to write. So let's put that there. Let's change that. In case you want to take some notes, that should be purple now. Okay, there we go. Going on to the next one. Oh, look, 3 to 6, I can multiply by 2. That's a times 2. And 4 times 2 is 8. That is equivalent. I'm going to pick that. Okay, next one. Well, how do I get from 3 to 4? And how do I get from 4 to 5? I'm adding 1. But remember, that's adding 1. Pattern by addition is not equivalent. That is not equivalent. Okay? When you are doing ratios, let's go over here. Let's text this. Let's also make sure we know that order matters. 4 to 3 is not the same as 3 to 4. That is not correct. And then let's do the last one. So let's not do green. Oh, let's just do brown. So how do I get 3 to 15? Ooh, I'm multiplying by 5. And 4 times 5 is 20. So that one is equivalent. So I got this down, got some notes here. Might want to write these down. Use them on your test, on your quiz. Just saying. Okay, question 3, we've been cooking. So question 3 on your test actually deals with a recipe with only 2 ingredients. So I had to find another recipe that only dealt with 2 ingredients. I think this sounds a little disgusting. If anybody wants to try making it, let me know how it goes. But evidently, you can make peanut butter cookies with just peanut butter and maple syrup. You will need 2 tablespoons of maple syrup for every cup of peanut butter. So I tell students, I'm going to draw a little picture. So a tablespoon, that's going to be my spoon. Okay, those are spoons. 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. Oh, do I have a different brown? I'm going to use an orange. Okay, for every cup of maple syrup. And somehow, when I combine those together, so don't ask me, I looked it up on the internet, that's going to make 6 cookies. Okay, so I'm going to put them together in a bowl. And now I'm trying to like finger write with a mouse. So I should have typed this, but it's going to make 6 cookies. Okay. How many cups of peanut butter do you need if you have 10 tablespoons of maple syrup? So I did this a little bit the other day with my SSTS class. What I say is I kind of set this up this way. So I go 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. Okay. And I'm going to draw a line. Ooh, do I have a nice line tool? No, I'm probably driving you guys crazy, so I'll just go here. I'll just draw a line. That's a very bad line, but you get the point. And my recipe is 2 tablespoons of maple syrup, 1 cup of peanut butter. So I'm going to go back over here, and I'm going to type 1 cup of peanut butter. Okay? So your teachers may do it different ways. This is how I do it. That's going to be equal to how many cups of peanut butter do I need if I have 10 tablespoons of maple syrup? So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to say 10 tablespoons maple syrup. And then, okay, this is what I need. That's going to do it. But again, a pattern of multiplication or division. I need to figure out how I get from 2 to 10. So I'm literally saying 2 times what number will equal 10. If I don't know what number to go in there, if I want to use my calculator, I can say 10. Or if I'm just going to use a multiplication table, 10 divided by 2 equals what number? When I do it that way, the number is 5. Okay. So my factor, I'm getting 5 times more maple syrup. So I need to get 5 times more peanut butter. And in this case, 1 times 5 is 5. So I would need 5 cups of peanut butter. Okay, if your teacher requires you to write out the answer with words, we can do that. Let's change the color here. Let's go with red. That's 5 cups of peanut butter. Okay. Ooh, that's the end of that page. Okay, let's go to the next page. Oh, how much peanut butter and maple syrup do you need if you want to make enough cookies for 9 people? So I'm going to go back here for a second just to help me out here. I'm going to snip this. This was my recipe, right? But I want it on this page. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oops. Trying a bunch of things here. I know. Okay. So how much peanut butter and maple syrup do you need if you want to make enough cookies for 9 people? Well, This is where I get a little tricky. Okay, I can't go from just 6 to 9. I can't do like 6. I mean, maybe, well, you actually can. You get a decimal. I can't do 6 times some number equals 9. Okay? But I can realize that 6 cookies is 2 sets of 3. That makes sense because 6 cookies is 2 sets of 3, right? There's 1 set of 3. There's another set of 3. Okay. And then over here, I want to get to 9 cookies. That's 3 sets of 3. So I could say, well, what about if I divided this in half to get just how much do I need for 3? That would be a half. That's 1 tablespoon, right? Type here. Let me change my colors. So that's 1 tablespoon of syrup, right? That's for 3 cookies because I'm doing 1 set. And then it's 1/2 cup of peanut butter for 3 cookies. I know this one's tricky. Okay, so let's go back over here. Let's go here. Let's go here. Let's go here. This is what I'm saying, right? 1/2 cup. So that's for 3 cookies. Okay, 1 tablespoon and 1/2 cup made these 3 cookies. 1 tablespoon and 1/2 cup made these 3 cookies. Now I need to make 9 cookies. So I have 3 sets of 3. So I'm going to multiply this by 3. And I'm going to multiply this by 3. So fortunately, 3 times 1, that one's a little bit easier. Let me go over here so I can text. I keep changing colors just to help you see if that makes sense. So now I need 3 tablespoons of syrup. And here's the tricky thing. Some of you are going to struggle that 1/2 times 3 is 1 and 1/2 cup. Okay, so if you struggle with that, if you got it, don't worry about it. That's 1 and 1/2 cup of peanut butter. So here's what I would do. I tell my students all the time, draw a diagram. Okay, so I would say, okay, this was 1/2 cup. This was another half. This was another half. 1/2 and 1/2 makes 1 whole. And you still got this other half here. Okay. That's a little messy. If you really don't understand, hopefully you watch this video in advance. Come in and ask for some clarification. Okay? Now I'm going to go on for the next one. For the peanut butter and maple syrup recipe, Mia says that the number of teaspoons of maple syrup is always double. So the thing is, what does double mean? Double means times 2. Okay? So 2 and 1, that's correct. If I go back to the other, okay, that is correct. We are multiplying each time twice as many cups of peanut butter. What you want to remember is, so in this case, it is true because doubling is multiplying by 2. Okay? If you were trying to figure out a pattern with addition or subtraction, I'm going to tell you now, you will not be correct. I'm making a big deal out of this for a reason, people. If you're multiplying by 2 as you are in this case, it's correct. If you're adding, it is not going to work. Okay, I'm going to go back to this page here. Remember, ratio, patterns by addition are not going to give you equivalent ratios. I'm even going to go back and highlight this now. And actually, here's what I'm going to tell you. If you want an airhead, oh my God, now they're all going to listen to me. If you want an airhead, you are going to tell me that, Mrs. Falk, I watched the video, and the thing that I found that you highlighted is a pattern by addition is not equivalent. The first 5 of you to tell me that you saw this on this video, I will give you an airhead. Look, pays to watch the video. Okay, going back on. Last problem here. At the grocery store, it costs $9 for 6 oranges. So you need to label each number line with a title and units to represent the situation, fill in the missing values on the double number line. Write a question you could answer using the double number line, and then answer. So there's a lot here. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go back to texting. Okay, it costs $9. So I'm going to say, I'm going to make this one my money, my dollars. See, I did it in green? Yeah. And then down here, I'm going to make this one orange for oranges. Look at that. So my first set of money, let's go back here to green. My first set of money is 0. My next set of money is 9. My next set of money is 18. My next set of money is 27. Okay. I'm trying to just make those look nice for you. Okay, so that's how we use the double number line. We are skip counting by this value. Okay, the other one, oranges, 6. So we are going to skip count by 6s. This is 0. Ooh, let me just do it this way. This is going to be 6. Skip counting. The next one is 12. Skip counting, you get 18. Skip counting, you get 24. Let's see if that kind of fits in there. Okay? So label each number line with a title and units. I did that. Fill in the missing values. I did that. Oh, they probably want me to go all the way here. So if they want me to go all the way, let's go over here. This would be 24. 24 plus 6 would be 30. Sorry for my bad handwriting. And this would be 36. It would keep going, obviously. And then up here, this would be 27. 27 plus 9 is 36. It's also 9 times 4. 9 times 5 is 45. 9 times 6 is 54. Okay? Write a question you could use to answer the double number line. There's a number of questions we could do. Ooh, I like this mulberry color. How much would, let's go with, how much would 12 oranges cost? How much would 24 oranges cost? You could do, how many oranges could you buy with $27? So there's 3 different questions. You only have to do one. I gave you an example. Answer your question. So my first one would be 12 oranges. That's the 6 12s. That's the second tick line, or actually third if you count 0, would correspond to 18. So you could, so that's it. 12 oranges would cost $18. How much would 24 oranges cost? So let's look up here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, so 24 oranges would cost $36. And how many oranges could you buy with $27? Boop, boop, boop. Okay, you could buy 18 oranges. Okay, so those would be answers. So remember, you have a review, you can take notes, you can use this review, this should help you, and you should do great on the quiz. Thank you so much for watching.